everyone, it's Sasha bringing you a video tutorial today from BP4U. And today I'm going to talk about these brushes and adjustments up here in this top panel, kind of above the basics panel here. So the first one that we have is a crop overlay. Now this is obviously for cropping a photo. And so we can keep the aspect the same, or we can set a size. Like if we were going to print a 4x5 or an 8x10, we would want to click on this box so that it could go ahead and show us what that crop would look like. Or if I wanted to print a 5x7, I could go ahead and click on that box so I could see what that would look like. And I'm going to want to hold down my shift key, and then you can see that I can go ahead and I can crop that photo then so that I can keep my aspect ratio there, and I can crop the photo in just how I would like it. I'm going to go ahead and reset my photo. The next tool here is the spot removal tool. And so you would go ahead and you could set your brush size. You can see that that gets a little bit bigger as we go. And then you can click somewhere and you drag. We're going to drag this around. Now you can see inside that box, or that little circle that we made, you can see where it's going to pull from. And it doesn't matter where we put it, we can look here and see where we're going to pull that from. So if I go ahead and I let that go, then it's going to pull that texture from over there. So you could go ahead and you could use that for, you know, acne, blemishes, and you don't have to have that at 100% opacity. You can turn that down. Now we have this on heal, so we can go ahead and we can make that a cloning brush, and we pulled that exact piece from over there. And if we do healing, it's going to try to keep the tones that is already in that area and just pull the texture from over here. But if we use clone, it's going to pull it all. So the next thing that we have here is red eye correction. So if you had a photo with some red eye, you could just go ahead and you could drag this from the center of the eye, or you could click in the eye and that would remove that red eye for you. Now this is called a graduated filter, and it's pretty fun. So we're going to just click and we're going to drag where we want to see this at. And you can pull it at an angle, you can keep it straight up and down. We're going to keep it straight up and down. So now you can see that I have this adjustment here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reset this so that I can show you what you can do with it. So we can go ahead and here and we can set all of these settings. So if I like the exposure where it's at, maybe I'll even pull it down just a little bit to bring back some of the detail on those trees. Maybe add a little bit of contrast. Maybe a little saturation. Smidge of clarity or sharpening. And then of course I can add a color. And so I can go and I can pull this just up just a little bit. Maybe I could make it look a little romantic with the lighting. Or I could come over here and I could give it a warming tone. Whatever I wanted to do. I'm going to pull it over here. I kind of like it over here. And so I can click on this box here and I can see my before and my after. If I didn't like the effect, then I could hit reset, and if I'm happy, I can just click close. And the last thing that we have here is we have a brush. And this allows me to make local adjustments. So I could just go ahead here and make sure that new is highlighted. And I can set my brush size down here. So let's go ahead and let's paint over these people here. So I'm not going to go with these settings. I'm going to pull that color off. I'm going to just go ahead and I'm double clicking on these sliders and that resets them. I'm just going to pull the exposure down just a smidge on the people here so that we bring back some of their skin tone and their detail, because their skin tones looked a little They're probably not blown, but they just looked a little bit overexposed for my taste. You know, we can give them a little bit of contrast, and if we wanted to, we could go for a little bit of a color, maybe something warming since they are in the sun. And so again, I can click on this and it shows me my before and my after. If you are using a brush and you want to know where that you have ran the brush over and where you haven't, you can use this button here and it will show you the area where you have used your brush at. And if you don't want to see the pen anymore, you can just click on never, and that way you don't have to see this little round circle here. If that's in your way, you can click on never, you can click on auto, you can click on always. That is up to you. If you decided that you're happy with this adjustment and you would like to make another one, then you can just go ahead and you can click on new, and again you can start adjusting all over again. If you have a brush pre-installed into your Lightroom, then you can just go ahead and you can click on your brush here and you can choose the brush that you want to use, and then you can go ahead and just start using it. If it's one of those preset brushes, lots of designers have them in their store, especially BP for You. So if you buy any of their Lightroom bundles that include the brushes, then they will be available for you to use here in Lightroom as well. Okay, so again, here's our before and our after on that. Okay, so if you can either reset it and decide that you don't like this effect, or you can just go ahead and you can hit close. If you are to hit reset down here on this, it resets the entire picture back to the before. So if you're only wanting to undo your last move, I wouldn't recommend hitting this button because it's going to take you back to the original image as you loaded it into Lightroom. So that's just a little tip for you. If you want to reset the brush, then you need to reset it in here. And the same goes for all these other tools, as opposed to trying to reset it down here, because that will reset your whole picture. So thank you for watching this video tutorial. I hope that has helped your Lightroom needs. Happy editing, everyone!